Yesterday I came across a video that says after salvation everything is done, and I think that's not. There are 7 things that should happen to you after you become born again. Please note that salvation is the door and not the destination. But 1, please note that regeneration will lead to formation. So I agree very well that salvation births you and I, and that's very correct. But birth is not maturity. So in the Greek, geneho, which means to be born, is followed by morpho, which means that Christ be formed in you. Galatians chapter 4 verse 19. When there is no formation, there will be no transformation. Number 2 thing that should happen to you is that you must go from justification to sanctification. Of course, I believe very well that you are justified instantly when you give your life to Jesus. You need to understand, like I've always taught in my classes, that sanctification is progressive. So Hebrews chapter 10 verse 14 holds both together. He perfected forever those that are being sanctified, and that tells you that it's an ongoing, continuous work. Salvation is an event, while sanctification is a journey. Number 3, you must move from faith to obedience. Biblical faith is never passive. Hebrew, emuna, means faithfulness, and that is faith. And it is not just a mental agreement. So after salvation, faith must become obedience. If not, then it is dead. Number 4, you must move from sonship to discipline. So Romans chapter 8 gives you sonship, but Hebrews chapter 12 gives you discipline. So if salvation made you a son or a daughter, as the case may be, discipline makes you a useful son. Grace without discipline produces gifted but empty believers. Number 5, spirit must produce fruit. It is not enough to receive the Spirit when you become born again. The real fundamental question is this: as the Spirit begins to reproduce in you, Galatians chapter 5 calls it fruit, because salvation must definitely change your appetite. And then number 6, you must move from enlightenment to discernment. So the light you get at salvation is actually not the end. The end is discernment. So Hebrews chapter 5 verse 14 says that mature believers have their senses trained, discern good and evil. So without discernment, people will become victims of every loud preacher. And finally, number 7 thing that should happen to you after you become born again is that you move from deliverance to transformation. So it is deliverance that gets you out of Egypt. Transformation teaches you to live without chains. So Romans chapter 12 verse 2 uses the verb that gives us the idea that we must continually transformed by the renewing of our mind, and that is a daily ongoing process. So no, salvation is never the finish line. It is the beginning of God's architecture in your soul. Salvation is where the work of being like Christ actually began. God bless you.